It was described to me as a small claims court case. What happened was they had people they called researchers. The researchers would go to the various courts throughout the county, and if they'd read the case and they decide, this sounds interesting to me, they would call both sides, and if both sides agreed, they'd come in and be interviewed by a producer. And the producer would then book the case, and I'd try it. And we did 10 cases in one day. And so that was the week's work. Wednesdays, we shot the show. No, I knew in advance what it would be because I did some research on my own, and I had someone on the show do research as to what the law was so that I'd be sure I knew what the law was before we started. But sometimes you get fooled. They would tell the producer one thing and testify differently.
Did you have any say in the cases that they chose?
No.
So you didn't reject any? Or
I didn't reject any. It was there. This is a case for you to try. I tried it, which is reality. Well, number one, they were sure of getting some money, because oftentimes you get a judgment in small claims court and you can't ever collect. That's one thing. Secondly, we have a lot of people in Los Angeles who are from New York and Philadelphia, New Jersey, Chicago, wherever, and they can tell their friends back home, I'm going to be on television. It's a great thing, could be on television. Well, there were a couple of people. One man was a lawyer whose wife had testified one way and she didn't win the case. And he threatened to sue and so forth, but nothing ever came of those cases. Well, I remember one case where a woman was suing because her neighbor had encroached on her property with some trees and something, and she's suing him for this encroachment. The encroachment was 3/4 of an inch. In the law, they call it, it's a Latin phrase for it, de minimis. De minimis non curat lex. It means it's the thing is so small that there's no law for it. And so she was very, very upset. I remember, well, you remember the interviews with Doug Llewellyn at the end of the show. I always felt that 50% of the people who appeared before me were very upset. 50% win, 50% lose.